Yo, what's poppin', peeps? T-Money up in the hazy. Happy Tuesday night. Here to do another entry in my collection overview series. Tonight I'm going to talk about Olive Films. Show you guys all my Olive Films releases to date. I have one DVD and a bunch of Blu-rays, so let's get right into this so as not to waste any time. Real quick, I just want to show you, I was at FYE on my way home from work today and I grabbed these two films. And I haven't seen either one of them, so I just wanted to ask if anybody out there has seen either Red Mist or Tale of the Mummy. They both sounded pretty good to me. They both have, Tale of the Mummy I looked up, it had decent ratings. So yeah, based on the synopsises of these two films, they sounded good. If anybody out there, anyone has seen them, please comment, let me know your thoughts. So yeah, appreciate that. Alright, let's get right into this now. The one and only DVD I have from Olive Films is this baby right here. I do want to upgrade it to Blu-ray at one point, but it's a great film. From 1966, Night of the Grizzly. And yeah, it's just really nice packaging as well. You get the slip box. So they don't do that often for their releases, so you know they kind of go all out. And the film is extra special in a lot of cases when they do, but that's not necessarily true. Alright, let's get right into this. First up, I'm not going to talk about the releases very much just for time's sake, because I have too many of them. I don't have a ton, but anyway, Monster Piedras Blancas. I will say I was really excited to check this one out. I liked it. I didn't love it, but it was a film that I had never heard of and had heard, or I had never seen and had heard about prior to its release from Olive. So I was really excited to check it out. So yeah, I recommend it. Monster Piedras Blancas. Next up, we have Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, starring Cushing. Christopher Lee as well, and yeah, Donald Sutherland. I mean, it's an all-star cast there. This is a color film from 1964. They put out a lot of classic, just gothic horror from way back in the day, 60s, 70s, 50s. So here's another one, 1964 color. Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, good film too. I like it. I think it's kind of brutal for its time. Or dark, I don't know. It's been a while. Next up, we have one from 1984, special effects. So-so film, not one of my favorites, but worth having all the same. Really cool Dracula film, The Return of. This is a black and white film. Yes, it is, from 1958. Pretty interesting. I recommend it. Next up, I did a trade with Jeremy from 22 Shots of Horror, Moods and Horror, a while back, and this was one of the movies I got from him. So yeah, cool creature, like it. I haven't seen this film starring Bruce Campbell, Moontrap. I've heard kind of mixed things, and honestly, the synopsis of the film doesn't really intrigue me, so I'll get to it one day. Next up, we have an awesome classic. Well, in my opinion, I shouldn't say that, but I love these films. Night of the Demons 2. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I really enjoy it. So this was an awesome release from from Olive, sorry. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, I grabbed this right when it came out, so. Same with, oh, no, not the next one, sorry. This is an okay film. Sometimes they come back. I was wondering when this was going to get a release, and then finally, it came out that Olive put it out. It's a 1991 color film. You guys know about that, Stephen King. Actually, yeah, sometimes they come back again. I think the second one, there's a scene in that movie. I like the demon in that one, kind of. I don't think it's the same actor. It's been a while since I've seen this, but directed by Tom McLaughlin, by the way. Next up, a cool one, Breeders. A lot of fun. Highly recommend this Olive release. It's a film from 1986, the year I was born. Next up, another fun one, Deadly Bees. Highly recommend this one as well. Again, most of the Olive, well, not again, but most of the Olive stuff I have is horror, just because, but don't get it twisted. They put out more than just horror. They put out film noir, pretty much every subgenre of film. So it's not just horror, but I just am a horror junkie, so that's what I get. But this one's out of print, really goes for a lot of money. Ticks, fun film. Actually a lot of fun. Really early performance from Seth Green in this one. Yeah, I highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Phase 4, another cool one, Killer Ant film. A lot of fun. They put out a bunch of like sci-fi. Trying to see. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of creature features around the same time. Phase 4. I'll get to them when they come, I'll remember. But The Terror from Outer Space. Another great one. I'm sorry, from Beyond Space. Let's see when this was. 1958. I don't think I've mentioned, but the features, Olive Films are not really known for having like the most what's the word? Not eccentric. Just they're not really known for their special features. They oftentimes there aren't even any. I mean, you're lucky if you get like subtitles on their releases, but that aside, you know, they're putting out films that no other companies have put out before. A lot of these are standalone releases from Olive. So I'm thankful for that. This was kind of a weird, more recent slasher film. It was okay, Night Game. But yeah, baseball, obviously, baseball slasher. Next up, this one, my buddy Tom Horsball had recommended on a post, I think, and I went and grabbed it. I'm ashamed to say I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposedly a fantastic black and white film from 1944, film noir. And I guess it's kind of scary, too. They're, I don't know, directed by Anthony Mann, too. Strangers in the Night. Horrific things about it, I guess. Classic release, The Monster Squad. I'm not sure if this is out of print yet. I own this film multiple times, but it's a great one. So, one of their greatest, I would say, because I love that film. I like this film a lot, too. It's a Jeff Burr film, Night of the Scarecrow. If you guys like Killer Scarecrow flicks, I highly recommend you check this one out. It's a lot of fun. I like it just as much, if not more, than Scarecrows that Scream Factory put out. So, check it out, for sure. For sheezy, Rotten Easy. Here we go. Student Bodies, another slasher parody. A lot of you guys have probably heard of this one. Pretty fun from the early 80s. Just total parody. But I liked it. This is a badass action film they put out. Stone Cold. I forgot about this release, to be honest with you. From 1991. Cheeseball action. I recommend it, though, if you like it. Exploitation. I just made that up. Instead of exploitation. Cujo, classic one. Are there any other releases? I feel like this has been released by another company. But this is a great release all the same. This is actually an upgrade for me. Initially, I had the Cujo Olive Films DVD, but I enjoyed the film enough to wanted to upgrade, so I did. Next up, I haven't seen this film. It's a killer animal film, I think, Roar. I heard it got kind of a lot of buzz when there's some dust on it. When it first came out, like I heard the name a lot, but I never actually saw it, so picked it up, but whoa, gotta start putting these back in the rack or they're gonna start tumbling over. Next up, we have a little horror anthology starring Donald Pleasence. It's not a very brutal horror anthology film, but it's still great. I mean, I love my anthologies, so I recommend it. Pretty great cast, too. You've got Joan Collins, Jack Hawkins, Donald Houston, Donald Pleasence, Susie Kendall, Peter McEnery, Michael Jaston. I don't know half of them, but directed by Freddie Francis, written by Jay Fairbanks. So I recommend it. If you're in the market for a new anthology film, I would definitely grab it. I don't know why, but I feel like Olive, they're not overlooked, but they're just, I guess they're just not flashy. So it's not like, I also don't really follow them on any social networks, but you don't hear a lot about, they just kind of quietly put out the releases, and you know, I appreciate that. The only thing I don't like about that is sometimes it flies by my radar, but for the most part I appreciate a more classy, low-key, less flashy, low-key release like Olive, rather than some like Scream Factory and stuff like that. But yeah, so basically a lot of these films are, they just come out and it's almost like a surprise to me. Whereas, you know, like months in advance when Arrow, and of course it's a marketing scheme, and they do it for a reason. But I like how Olive, it's more of a last minute surprise, I guess I'm trying to say. Another classic one, Witchboard 2, Kevin Tenney's follow-up to Witchboard, which I love. It's funny that they put out Kevin Tenney's Witchboard 2 and then Kevin Tenney's other one too. Night of the Demons 2, that's cool. This is a newer release. I showed this in a recent update, Wake of the Red Witch. Haven't seen it yet, but one of my buddies commented and said it was great, so gotta check this one out soon. Love that Kino Lorber-like artwork on that. This is one I picked up, where? At a pawn shop or something. Jaybreakers. or Jayhawkers, I'm sorry. I haven't checked it out yet, but I think it's like a Western action flick, not horror at all, but I grabbed it because I saw the Arrow, I keep saying Arrow, I'm sorry guys, Olive logo on the spine here, and I had to grab it because they are a company that I like to support fully and grab their releases. So I do need to kind of expand more because, like I said, they do a lot of stuff outside of the horror genre, and I primarily only have Olive horror releases. So I gotta start to expand my horizons. So anyway, this one was okay. It's a more modern slasher film, Cinco de Mayo. I didn't mind it, low budget for sure, but I enjoyed it. And this is actually the Martini. So the next few films I'm going to show you guys are a sub-label of Olive Films, and it's Martini Entertainment, is it? Slasher Video / Martini Entertainment. So it's like a double named sub label of Olive Films. So anyway, you can tell by that logo there. That's the Martini logo. Alright, so let's see. It's all relative. It all involves an olive, right? Shock 'em Dead. This one was fun. Who do we have in this? Quigley? Linnea Quigley? Am I wrong? Tracy Lords, okay. Another one from Slasher Video, though. Shock 'em Dead. Pretty cool electric slasher. Here we go. Killer Workout. 88 Films also put this release out, but I'm glad to have this one as well. I really like this film. It's fun. You know, in the vein of your cheesy 80s exercise slashers. What's the one that Gorgon put out that I love? Forgot the name, but this is a really cool modern age, well, newer anthology film from Olive / Martini Entertainment. Yeah, I really recommend this. Definitely low budget indie filmmaking at its finest, in my opinion. Really funny, and the humor just worked for me in this one. I really liked it, so recommend you guys check this one out. I think that's like an anthology type film. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do recall really enjoying it and getting a few great genuine laughs out of it too. That's always nice. Deadly Prey, and then we have Deadliest Prey, two, you know, schlocky exploitation films from, are they the 80s? Yeah, I believe so. 1987, so the armpit of the 80s. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I love how it says action there. There's a little action price tag. A throwback feel for sure, but yeah, gotta grab these films. Ted Pryor. Alright, next up we have, and we're still on Martini, Man Killers. Never checked this one out because I kind of just heard so-so things about it, but again, wanted to grab it. It's sexploitation, or not really. It's like a badass chick. Who's the star in this? Oh, I forget her name. But yeah, just like a badass lady exploitation type film from the 80s. Poison is such, like, the band Poison is like the epitome of like the mid 80s to me. It's just, it reminds me of like toxic. The 80s can be summed up for me by toxic waste, poison, and just like, I don't know, Man Killers. Just like that whole shitty USA Street Fighter vibe. I don't know what I'm saying. This was horrible. Don't recommend this one at all. Victims, gotta say, I did not like it at all. It was cheaply made. It was shit. It wasn't good. Nothing was good about it. So I can't recommend Victims. Sorry. This next one people hate, but I like it. Not gonna lie. Satan's Blade. It's atmospheric. It's snowy. It's a snow themed slasher. I mean, it doesn't have to be very good for me to enjoy this kind of film. This setting alone was a sell for me, so it was boring, kind of, but you could just, you know, give me that setting and I'll eat it up. So guys, shit, wow, holy smokes, I've got 2 more releases and then we're done. That went by fast. I guess I was gabbing at a fast pace tonight. So they only did, to my knowledge, 2 releases with slipcovers. And over the years, because I've had these since they first came out in 2013, was it? 2012. So they do have some shelfware. You can see that on the left corners. Well, not really, because the cellophane wrap's blocking it. But these were the only 2, and I'm so grateful that these were the 2 that got slipcovers because I love both these films almost equally. Thinner is one of my, first of all, I have to say I think it's one of the most underrated Stephen King film adaptations ever. Sorry, I thought I saw my cat out there. And it's just a lot of fun. Where was I going with that? It's just underrated. I love this film. So, yes, I recommend you guys check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm sure most of you have. I don't know why. I've just always really loved that 90s Thinner Stephen King feel. Yeah, mid-90s. I mean, I love it. And you can't go wrong with the Boogans. Shout out to, I first heard about this film when I was in school. Probably 2006, 2007. My buddy Charlie turned me on to this and The Strangeness, which was released from Code Red. Two films that are kind of similar in a similar vein. And yeah, I love both of them to this day. So I'm really glad Olive put this out with this nice. Oh fuck! I gotta drop it, dude. Why did I gotta do that? Oh, I'm sorry, bud. I'm talking to a fucking box. Jesus. It's time for me to go, guys. I'll catch y'all very soon. Thursday, I think I'll have a bunch of shit to show you guys. I'm getting in the mail. So we'll catch you on the flip side. Have a great evening. Peace.